If you had any advice to someone that's going to just say create some kind of a new hunting product or something like that, what would it be?
Please be original. Come up with something that benefits you, benefits everybody that would hunt and, that would use your product. Don't go out there and knock someone else's product off and sell it cheaper. That is not what we need. At the end of the day, I don't care what brand it is. I am a product person. I would love to put product against product. That's what I live for. And I've done this long enough that I saw some friends of mine leave companies they worked for, start new companies years ago, and come out. And I was like, man, good for you. I'm glad that you did that. You had the opportunity to do it. But I am so disappointed that all you did was knock somebody off.
Hey, welcome back to the Buck Junkies Podcast, where we talk hunting, cooking, conservation, and all things outdoors. I'm Malcolm Reed, and I got my buddy Mikey here with me, and we got a very special guest for y'all today. He's a legend in the duck hunting world, a man who's took his passion for outdoors and built one of the most respected names in waterfowl gear, Mr. Jeff Jones, founder of Chene Gear. Jeff, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Well, glad y'all had me here.
Yeah, man. Well, we've been, since our buddy Charles talked so much about you, and I think y'all have been good buddies. Charles helps us out from the local co-op, but we've been wanting to get you on for a while, ever since we've been doing the podcast. So we're glad you took time out and come out here with us. So.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it.
So we wanted to kick things off with a little bit of background about your company, Chene, and what that journey was like, and how'd you go from growing up, I guess, hunting in the woods and founding one of the biggest names in duck hunting, man. So tell us a little bit about it.
It's been, I guess we kind of put it like that. It's been quite a journey. It has. It's a long life. I guess, if I went all the way back, I'd have to say I was really fortunate. I was really fortunate as a kid because I grew up in a place, in a time where everybody hunted. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know another grown man that didn't hunt.
Right.
That's just kind of how it was. My dad was a hunter, my grandfather, every member of our family. And we were lucky for, we always hunted public land. We were public land kids. But we had private land access. So it would go right out the back door. You're able to kind of get to the public woods before anybody else could. So I would say I've always been a little bit spoiled. But I was, I still to the day, I still hunt public. Very proud of that. But having that opportunity, it also allowed us to be able to hunt every day. So I could hunt before school. I could skip school. I could hunt, I could hunt on the weekends.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things. You never got in trouble. Well, I mean, you kind of push it sometimes during school that you get in trouble. But, as long as you were hunting and doing something like that, you weren't out really doing anything that, your parents would freak out.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was kind of given freedom and allowed to hunt and just grew up with it. And that instilled in me just a passion for hunting, for waterfowl hunting in particular, and really all things outdoors.
Were y'all primarily waterfowl hunting? Or?
Yeah, we did. We would deer hunt. So I guess you kind of always back it up. My grandfather's side of it, and all of his brothers and everybody, and then my grandmother's brothers, all them, they were bird hunters.
Yeah.
Kind of like everybody else of that generation. They were, big bird hunters.
Yeah.
And as that kind of moved away from having opportunities to do that, we really became waterfowl hunters. We'd deer hunt quite a bit too, but, once duck showed up, I always kind of tell everybody, once you got to that December time frame, you could care less about a deer.
That's right.
You could drive right past one and be like, he's all right.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of something to do. It seemed like it was something to do from when dove season went out till duck season came in. You'd kind of deer hunt.
So were y'all in Mississippi or Arkansas
no, we
at the
were
time?
in Arkansas, southwest Arkansas, around the Hope, Arkansas community. My parents I grew up in Texarkana, outside of Texarkana. I went to high school in that Texarkana area, right on the Red River. And then we had family in southwest Arkansas, and that's how we'd go, 15, 20 minutes away, 30 minutes at the furthest, and right out the back door.
Does that make you a Razorback fan, or?
All right.
We got to get this out.
I chose my own path. So my my parents' side of the world, they are all University of Texas people, born and raised, grew up in it and all that. Everybody on the cousins and outskirts are Arkansas people. So I said, you know what? I like LSU.
There you go.
I will be
There
my
you go.
own. I'll be my own man. I'll be hated by all of y'all.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
No, we still get it. I got 3 little girls at home now, and I tried to raise them Mississippi State fans, and I've lost all 3 of them straight up
Yeah.
this.
Oh man. Well, see, I can't say nothing. That's where I went to school. My wife's from a Mississippi State grad, so we're kind of divided. So
It is, man.
Yeah.
It's
but I was born in Arkansas too,
oh really?
so I've kind of got that Razorback side of the family and get the pressure from them when we go over there. And
Yeah. It's different. It's different for Arkansas and places like that only have that kind of one school, the state with one school.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
They're all in. Or
That's right. It's different, but we like them all, man. With SEC now. So since Texas is over there, I'm okay with that now too.
At the end of the day, man, if I'm going to watch somebody and it's not the team I want, as long as it's an SEC school team, I'm going to pull for them.
There you go.
That's what I care about.
So while you was hunting and doing all this stuff as a young man, as a kid and stuff like that, at that point, were you thinking about hunting gear and maybe designing hunting gear at that time? Or
I think when you kind of look back on it, we were always tinkering with our stuff, making it more suitable that it worked longer for us and we could stay out there. Excuse me. And that's always kind of been, the mantra of it is you wanted to build gear or you wanted to make stuff so you could stay in the hunt longer.
Yeah.
Because if you got wet or you got cold or something happened, that hunt was over or became miserable.
That's
Kind of
right.
like we were talking about mosquitoes earlier. It could have been the greatest hunt ever, but you're worried about those mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
You could be on a great hunt, but if you got wet, got cold or something happened, boat broke down, that's what you remember. And you're like,
That's right.
we got to end this and get out of it. So looking back, we were always kind of tinkering, playing with stuff, trying to find jackets that would keep you warm. This was when I was a kid now, a long time ago. So doing all that, I don't know that I was necessarily thinking about a life in the outdoors at that time. I was just in the moment of just hunting and fishing.
Right.
But it did lead me to go into college. I got a biology degree. And the reason I got a biology degree is because I wanted to understand animals more. I thought it's time I wanted to work for like game and fish and understand it.
Yeah.
Kind of growing up. Quickly after school, I realized that's not what I wanted to do. I did not want to work for the game and fish. And at that time, there wasn't much private land. There wasn't many people paying privately to have this or that.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I didn't want to go on to anything else in college. And I was fortunate. I met a couple guys that were starting an outdoor brand. It was Jason and Scott Perry. They were going to start a business called McAllister Company, making old wax canvas, antique style shell vests, things like that. Kind of nostalgic at the time. This was 1998. Met them and they said, "Hey, this is what we're going to do. You want to come to work?" And I was like, "Yeah." They said, "I don't know if we can pay you." I was like, "Okay, it's going to be a problem." But it didn't go long. It didn't take long till we kind of got that business up and going. And that's when I really got into it. So 98, 99, I was just a kid, just a year out of school, first grown up job. But I was in the industry. I was making hunting gear. I was making fishing gear, and I was meeting people and doing whatnot, working with stores and direct sales. And I've never left this industry. It's kind of a thing. I'm pretty fortunate. I'm kind of known in it because I've been in it my whole life. And I can always just kind of say I grew up in this industry. So there's guys that have stores that have known me since I started, and they're like, "Yeah, we've seen you grow up." So it's always kind of been fun for me. But here I am.
And you've worked for other companies other than just that too, haven't you?
Yeah. So my timeline history is we started McAllister in 98. We stayed with it all the way through until 2002. And it's how I ended up getting over here is Drake Waterfowl was started in Olive Branch by Tate Wood and Bobby Wyndham. They had some partners out of Maryland. Those partners, they built the canvas raw goods that we were buying at McAllister.
Yeah.
We were buying it from them and turning it into product. And at that time, a bunch of young kids and trying to grow a business. We didn't understand money, didn't understand cash flow, and we kind of got in a situation we needed to sell. Well, the Drake Waterfowl partners, they were like, "Hey, we should buy them because it makes us more vertical. We're making the raw goods they're using." So they bought it. They bought it in 2000, at the end of 2002. So in January, they took over the business, and I just came along with it.
So that brought you to DeSoto County?
That's what brought me to DeSoto County. Drake Waterfowl was a startup. So they had Drake Waterfowl and we had McAllister Company. So 2002, 2003, and that thing, Drake, it just really became a rocket ship. It was just try to hold on to what you could do. And that was really where I kind of got into the groove of making product. It was, at one point in time, whatever you could dream up, you could make. And the rate it was growing and how it was getting bigger, it just kind of exposed you to newer textiles, newer insulations, just all kinds of things that were coming on. And it was a great time for our industry because people were paying attention to it. There was access to all kinds of, textiles, all kinds of new science, all kinds of new technology. And it just exploded. It really blossomed at that time.
Yeah, because I remember it was probably they were having that big Ducks Unlimited festival up in Memphis back in that time, and that was the first time I'd ever seen Drake Waterfowl up there. And at that time I think they had a little bit of stuff, jackets and waders and a few things, and like you said, it's just God, anything you'd imagine is they just started producing everything. I mean, duck bags, just all kinds of accessories and things like that. And good night, man. They blew up into a monster.
So you're with that Drake company, but then you had the vision to start up this new company. What brought on Chene Gear, and how did that come about to where y'all became one of the biggest names in a short period of time, really?
Yep. So as I got toward the end of Drake, the two original owners were looking to retire and exit and kind of sell and move out of it. That was their choice. Wasn't really sure of what the future would hold. When you sell to private equity or you sell to somebody else, someone new comes in and makes changes. I'm married. I've got 3 little girls, and I'm like, I don't know what my future is going to be. And I kind of felt like my future was someone else's hands. And that's, for me personally, that wasn't the feeling I wanted. And I told my wife, Jessie, I was like, I have done this. At that time, I'd done it for nearly 20 years. I said, I hate to say it and I don't want to admit it, but I kind of know what I'm doing. I think I could do this in a different way and use different materials that I can't use now. And if we sold it direct to the consumer and didn't sell it to stores, that would allow us to pay more for it. We could build it a little bit different. We could use some different technologies that were out there, and I think it would work. And she was supportive. She said, great. I think you should do it too. I don't know how you're going to do it, but good luck.
Yeah.
And we need to eat Friday. So, so we had to keep those paychecks coming. And I went out, I was able to, Charles and I have a really good friend, and he's kind of connected with some other people. And I called him one day and I said, hey, can you make an introduction between me and, someone else? And he said, yeah, I'll certainly do it. And we did that. And I got partners and I got financial support, and I got 3 great partners that were willing to be, part of it and get it going. And that was awesome. So all of a sudden now we had the financial way of getting the business done. And I was like, I think this is going to work out. Lo and behold, there was this thing called COVID. I don't know if y'all heard about it.
Oh yeah.
It's a little small global pandemic that happened to us. So it was kind of interesting, and that brought on all its own unique challenges because I was sourcing textiles and products and trims from all over the world. sending them into a manufacturing facility, and then trying to get them into the U.S.
So that was the big challenge then, because things shut down. I mean, everywhere.
Everything shut down. Everything shut down. You couldn't move it through systems because no one was working the rails. Nobody was at ports. And then trying to get it from one country to another country where they wouldn't allow those people from this country into that one because of global pandemic. And then on top of it, the zipper that we were using in the waiter, they were using in some of the containment systems that they were using in hospitals. So they're like
PPE stuff we all heard about.
Right. So, I'm like, hey, I need those zippers to build a waiter. And they're like, well, we need these zippers in the hospital. We're trying to save lives.
Yeah, there's a little priority there.
Yeah, I was like, all right, well, whenever you can.
But I mean, that has to be one of the toughest things, to be starting to getting a business off the ground during that pandemic time.
It was.
But there's also part of a blessing to it, because to me, it brought people to the outdoors. All of a sudden, people had time, and then they somehow had money. I don't know how everybody had money then, but they were spending it. And it was like, man, the outdoor sector just blew up because that was the safest place for us to go, was outside.
That's right. That, and, we did that complete direct consumer approach. We were like, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sell it directly to you. You don't have to go to a store. So that it presented its own unique challenges, but it was also the opportunity because people weren't going to stores. So like, I'm not going to a store anyway, so I have no problem buying online.
Yeah.
And it's funny, when we launched the business, and almost immediately, one of our top 3 states was California. And we're like, well, this is weird.
You don't think of that as a duck hunt destination?
Don't think of it, but it is. It's a huge duck hunting destination. They have massive public land out there. But those people had been buying online for years because there's no sporting goods stores in the state of California. So they were used to it. So it was a no-brainer for them. Like, yeah, I'll buy it. So
is that still one of your biggest markets, is the California section?
Well, as the Southeast is filled out and everything's kind of filled out, it's probably dropped, but we've still maintained steady growth in California, and it's important to us. So it's a key state.
That's really interesting to me, because I know, like everybody else, we're in the South, and we hear California, we don't think of people that hunt and fish. You think of all the cities out there and everything, all the other problems that we see in the news. But there really is the majority of that state is outdoors.
Oh, it is.
And there's so much vast land.
Absolutely outdoor. I think it's the San Francisco Valley, or there's a big valley area that they're 2 and 3 in rice production. One of the top 2 or 3 states in rice production, and there's just ducks everywhere. I went out there turkey hunting 2 springs ago and got to see a lot of the country. It's amazing. Once you get outside of LA, outside of San Francisco, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, all kinds of species of animals and just rolling hills, and it's a beautiful country.
So let's talk about your product a little bit. So what sets your product apart from others?
So if you look at it, kind of started with the waiter. We built the waiter out of materials that no one else was using at the time. And we used some technology to build it in a way that it didn't damage it. So what I'm saying is that when you make a waiter, when you make a shirt, when you make anything and you sew it, when you run the sewing machine through it, you're putting 11 holes every inch. That's what a needle's doing. You're poking holes in it every inch as you make it. And then you'll come back on the back side of it and you'll tape it to cover up those holes. So you're kind of destroying fabric to build something out of it. Well, I'd stumbled across and I'd found a way that you could seam seal it without poking holes in it. So basically we kind of do some neat, cool stuff to the fabric, and we're able to heat it and seam seal it and bond it together with some bonding agents, and then tape it so we don't destroy the fabric when we start with it. The nylon fabric that we use, the whole world uses polyester to build waders out of. We use a nylon fabric. Right off the bat, the tensile strength between nylon and nylon is just greater. You didn't really kind of see it in our industry because it's more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you print camouflage, the way the bulk of the world's printed, the way most things are printed, it's a heat process where they do it with paper. So they'll just take paper, take your fabric and you feed it through a machine, and it transfers the print from the paper onto your fabric. Well, that's a heat process, and you can't do that with nylon. So we digitally print it. And what I mean by digitally printing is basically we run that nylon fabric through a giant printer, like a desktop printer, and it prints directly onto the fabric. It's slow and it's expensive. But being a new brand and being able to do something different and selling direct to consumer, and that was our only product that we came out with, I had the time to build it. I didn't have to get out when everybody else had to get out. And we could put more into it because I wasn't trying to sell it to one location who was then trying to sell it to somebody else. I was just trying to sell it to the end consumer. So there were some benefits that we were able to take advantage of because of the way we approached the business.
Yes. Okay.
So were y'all the only company that was doing anything like that, just being that innovative?
Yeah, we pretty much still are. There's a couple other brands that have now started doing that, but they're still kind of doing it with the solid color fabric. They're not doing it with the camouflage. That's still it's an expensive step. It's hard for brands just to instantly start doing that. The more and more will do it. The way we build the wader, the technology behind the wader, we have our partners that at the manufacturing facility, they have a patent on it, and we have that wader patented here too. So we're not seeing anyone do it in that way.
How long did it take you to realize you were building something that people weren't going to have to keep buying? It was just going to last them. And then, because I could see that being a problem for a company. It's like, man, I built this awesome product, but now they don't have to buy that second pair because they're tearing them up in a year or whatever.
It's an issue. And, that was kind of one of the things that you kind of look at when you first launch into it. That being said, waterfowlers are notoriously hard on gear.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They just, I think you kind of get into the mentality of, hey, I'm wearing like old knight style chain link armor. Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
I can tie these two legs together and pull this Can-Am out.
And then I need a warranty job on that.
You can't do that, man. It's still at the end of the day, it's not indestructible. You can tear them up, and waterfowlers are prone to tear stuff up. And that was the other side of the business that was really important to me too, was I wanted to build our own repair facility. So we're not the first company in the world that said, hey, we're going to make waders that are repairable. That was being done. There's another brand doing that. But we are the only company that is repairing their own waders. So you're not sending it to a third-party repair shop.
Yeah.
We do it ourselves. We do it in Memphis, right behind the shop. I mean, we have a facility there that we do it in.
So whenever a customer sends something back, it comes to Memphis and it gets fixed right there.
That's right there. We fix it right there. We've also opened that location in Stuttgart, and in Stuttgart, we can do repairs there also. Now, if it's complex and it needs something, if you did rip the entire leg, it'll probably come to Memphis. But if it's a quick repair, we can do it in Stuttgart and keep you going. Our thing is, I look at it, and I think this comes back to my roots of always being that public land kid where you did spend the bulk of your time on the weekends, is I didn't want a guy to have to go. I wanted, if he damaged a wader on a Saturday, something happened to it, I didn't want him to miss the next Saturday because of the wader. So we try to focus on a 7 to 10 day turnaround time to getting waders back to.
Man, that says a lot for customer service there. If you can get somebody to ship something to you, you get it turned back out to them in a week.
Yeah.
That's our goal. Now, things happen, and, maybe somebody's repair takes longer and that, but we pretty well stick to that 7 to 10 days. We'll knock it right back out to you.
That's cool.
Well, I know everybody wants to know where the name Chene Gear, where did that come from? What's a little bit about the history of how you came up with that?
Yeah. So Chene, which has never been pronounced correctly in the state of Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, Louisiana, anywhere. They got it in Louisiana. They knock it out down there. But it's French for oak. So our passion, every one of us there in the company, we like to hunt a flooded timber.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do and like. So when you kind of start looking at names and different things, you kind of realize you are in a big French influence region of the world where we are along the Mississippi River with all the trading everything like that. And then that word Chene is French for oak.
I gotcha. Okay.
And then it has a weird little emblem above it. Naturally, it has a diacritic, which I learned, which made my mom, who was an English teacher, really happy that I finally learned something. And then we just kind of changed the shape slightly to make it look more like the Delta.
Yeah.
It is to us.
Yeah, the first time I seen it or heard about it, we got a mutual friend that was calling it Chene, I think.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna call his name, but
we get Chene a lot. We get Chene a lot. It's just all over the place, and it's still, still to the day. So
as long as folks are talking about it, it don't matter, right?
And I can get it wrong all you want. Just talk about it.
Well, do you have any other products that you interested in getting into or coming out with?
Yeah. So, as the business has grown over the years, well, we focus on waders, but our goal was to be an all around waterfowl company.
Yeah.
We build some really high quality jackets. We do wading pants. We have a full line as we should in the waterfowl industry, from bags to totes, accessories, everything that goes with it. And then we'll kind of expand that as we go. I said something a little bit earlier about going turkey hunting in California. Turkey hunting in springtime is my big passion. That's what I absolutely love. And
ours too.
It works great for me because the business usually slows down, and I was kind of had the spring to myself. So I love to turkey hunt. So we're going to enter into the turkey market. We've spent a few years working on it. We started to do it last year, and we had our product where we thought we wanted it, and decided to pull back and spend another year developing product to get it exactly how we wanted to. And then, there's a bunch of us there that love to bow hunt. So I kind of see us working into the whitetail in the future. But we're not going to we will not leave our roots. We're not going to leave who we are and what we founded. Right. And that was as waterfowlers.
Well, if you can perfect some of that anti-tick, anti-mosquito fabric and get some, I'd be all about it.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of ways to do it, whether it's with treatments on the fabrics or where you cut the fabric to make it fit so they can't get up onto you and different stuff. So, all those things, like at the end of the day, everybody in the office, which is good and bad. I will say it's good and bad. We're all users of the product. We all hunt, we all fish, we all spend time outdoors. We're all faced with ticks. We're all faced with mosquitoes, the cold, the hot, and everything. Yeah. And everybody's there. It's opinionated. So they're going to come in and say, hey, I think you need to focus on this or focus on that. And, we're all users of the product. So the bad part about it is you get to December and you've got a good cold front and you've got water in the woods. I'm looking for where my people are.
I was fixing to say, how do y'all get time off? Like, how does that work at you? Because
it does. It's one of those things that I want everybody to hunt as much as they can, but we got to do our work.
Yeah.
Let's do our work. Let's try to stay ahead and not get behind. And if you can, then, we're pretty liberal with work hours. We let a lot of guys off to go, and I have a good group of people that work there. They'll come in and work at night, work in afternoons. They'll make it up on a Saturday or Sunday for being out. And, they probably don't get as much as they want, but when it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
Ducks show up, man, you can't hold them in. You got to let them go. Go hunt. Yeah. Go hunt, come in and get the work done.
That's one thing I've noticed about, really doing something that you love. Malcolm started the barbecue part of this, and we're doing trying to start this outdoor part of it. Is your busy season is right in the middle of when you wanted to, when you enjoyed doing it and the time that you usually spent relaxing. Now you're busy. You're working in that time frame.
I try to tell them, I've been doing this forever, and I get a bunch of high school kids or college kids, and they say, man, I just want to work in the hunting industry. I just want to work in the hunting industry. I was like, you won't think this through.
Yeah.
Think it through, because this is when you're going to work at this point in time. And if you can make it work and you can figure it out and you're willing to give and take some of your time, it's a great career. It's a great area to work in. You'll always be happy. But I was like, man, I got a guy that works at Frito-Lay that duck hunts every day.
Yeah. That's right. So if you had any advice for someone that's going to just say create some kind of a new hunting product or something like that, what would it be?
Be original. Please be original. Come up with something that benefits you, benefits everybody that would hunt and, that would use your product.
Yeah.
Just be original with it. Don't go out there and knock someone else's product off and sell it cheaper. That is not what we need. We don't need that. I am, at the end of the day, I don't care what brand it is, I am a product person. I would love to put product against product. That's what I live for. And I've done this long enough that I saw some friends of mine leave companies they worked for, start new companies years ago, and come out. And I was like, man, good for you. I'm glad that you did that. You had the opportunity to do it. But I am so disappointed that all you did was knock somebody off. So that would be my suggestion. Keep working at it. Keep working your job you have now. Keep working on your passion, your desire, until you can bring something new and different that's not been done, that actually benefits everybody.
Yeah.
Don't knock off. That would be my suggestion.
That's good advice.
Well, I mean, to me, that seems like that'd be part of the big secret to building a brand as big as yours as fast as you did, because it was so different. And it's a prime example. It just took off.
Yeah. And, you get lucky. Of course, in all businesses, timing is everything.
Yeah.
You get lucky along the way. You got to take advantage of the luck. But our product was different. Our service was different. And our customer service was different. And I think all of those combined built Chene into what it is now.
So what would you say would be the biggest challenge in building the company that y'all faced?
Once we got through COVID and got through the global issue, I think that was fine. I think the biggest challenge and the biggest issue we faced is, when we launched Chene, and I tell people this all the time, and it takes a little while to understand, we launched with a waiter. So you kind of think, well, your competitor was your other brands, your Sitkas, your Drakes, your Banded, your Lacrosse. Is like you picked a fight with them. Well, I didn't. I picked a fight with the entire industry, because not only did we have a new waiter and a new style of waiter, we didn't sell it the traditional routes.
Yeah.
So I had to look at people that I'd known for 20 years and say, hey, I'm not going to sell you this waiter. I'm going to sell it direct to the consumer. So not only am I picking a fight with all the other brands, I picked a fight with all the retailers. Mm-hmm. And that was a big problem. That was something they weren't used to. They'd never seen happen in the industry. And it was tough. So, everybody kind of came out.
And the price point was way more than what everybody else was, right?
Yeah. The price point was huge. That wasn't, it had kind of, Sitka had kind of crossed that threshold with that price. So we knew there was a little bit of market that would accept it. We just didn't know how big that market was. You still kind of live by the fact that no one was going to pay that much for it. I looked at the price point. I didn't really concern myself with the price point, because I basically was telling people, hey, yes, you're buying a waiter. We're going to have a transaction. You're going to give me $1,000. I'm going to give you a waiter. So there is the transactional side of it. But what we're really doing is we're entering into an agreement that I'm always going to take care of you as long as you're taking care of that product.
That's right.
I had a saying almost immediately saying we would stand behind the waiter as long as you stood in them.
Yeah.
Now, along the way, the other side of it is too, every customer has a choice if they buy this waiter or that waiter or any product that we sell out there. But we also had a choice if we sold it to you or not. So after a year or two, I kind of realized, hey, here's an individual that's taking advantage. This person's taking advantage of me. And I was like, hey, I'm going to replace your waiter. I'm going to take care of you on this one, but we're done. I can't, as a business, the business couldn't live in a world where it was being taken advantage by people.
But I'm sure that don't happen often.
No, it doesn't happen often, but it does happen every now and then. And it usually happens by somebody that's really not thinking. They're thinking, well, this is a giant corporation. They'll never
That's
know.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I see every order that comes through.
Yeah.
I almost answer every call. Like it is very rare on a Saturday or Sunday morning that our phone doesn't ring. My cell phone doesn't ring. Someone calling about a question.
So you're not outsourcing customer service to another country, and it's like, yeah.
No, it's and you can tell also that people just weren't thinking like, oh, I thought I was calling a Cabela's or a Bass Pro or they're open all the time. I'm like, no, man, I'm mowing my yard right now. What can I do?
That's cool. That's cool. Y'all want to talk a little bit about hunting?
Yeah. That's what I want to know. So we're all about the hunting out the camp lifestyle, and that's kind of what our big thing has been. And we enjoy that aspect of it. I think that's what really brings people to hunting. It's the stories, the traditions, the passing it on to the younger generations. That's a big part of it. So we like to always spend a little bit of time talking about camp life. So what was your camp like? What is your hunting camp like?
So I was going to say I was kind of lucky growing up because like I said, we hunted public, but we had private land. I had a set of uncles that had a really cool farm. They had a big piece of property in Hope, and we would deer hunt over there. They used to bird hunt on it. We would deer hunt on it. Well, a little corner of that property backed up to an old church and cemetery, and they had like 40 acres. And sometime back in the 60s or 70s, they had the opportunity to buy that church. Well, they converted it into a hunting camp. So that was kind of the hunting camp that I grew up in, was just an old converted church. And when you went in the front door, it was just a little dining area with a bunch of 8-foot folding tables put together, a big kitchen, and a bunkhouse. And that's where we'd spend our weekends over there.
Yeah.
So I grew up in that. I grew up, the first thing you would do, you'd have to get up early in the morning. There'd be old men over there cracking eggs, making a big scrambled egg dish, and then somebody'd be frying sausage and somebody'd be burning biscuits. It was just everybody was rotating in and out. Well, you can't cook biscuits anymore because you burn them twice.
That's
You're
right.
out.
You're out. You're on sausage.
You're on sausage. If I find one more eggshell in these eggs, you'll not do eggs again. So I mean, it's just one of those things. And it was, I can still always picture it. I can always picture it. It had a big gas stove in there. It was rustic. At that time, it was just what you needed to get by. It wasn't a thing where people were putting a whole lot of money into it like they do camps now. Had a shelf next to the refrigerator with I don't know what kind of crate it is. It's a round crate with that red rind cheese in it.
Oh, yeah.
Sat there all season. Always summer sausage coming in. So, I had an old Coke vending machine in a little side room, and it had beer in it.
It'd have been converted.
Yeah, converted over. So I grew up in a camp. Always had a camp. And then when I went off on my own, I built a camp. I didn't build a camp. I got a camp over on the White River. So I have a place over on the White River Refuge. It used to be an old trailer, flooded in 2011. Finally, water finally got to it and it flooded. And here I was at that time, I'd been married, let's see, 2011. We'd been married about 5 years, had 2 little girls, just getting by. Camp flooded, and I told Jessie, I said, we got to rebuild. She was like, okay. So built a metal building at that time, and it's kind of like one of those island camps where there's a whole bunch of camps down the island.
Yeah.
And those are most of my friends. That's who I hunt with and do stuff with. But it's kind of cool. Everybody gets their own house at night, so we shut down my house. I'll say,
there's no more bunk rooms. Yeah.
But I can get up in the morning. I can walk right down the boat ramp, get in the boat, and go. So camp and taking the girls over and having them a place to play, and it's kind of fun where they can do whatever they want. They're not going to hurt anything.
Yeah.
There's a room. There's a bunk room in there. It's got some bunk beds, and if you look, all the walls have crayon colored pictures and stuff on them that the kids have done. So having a camp that you can go to, I think it's huge. It really kind of, if you can tell a kid, I see them because I expose so many people that are customers and that work for us and whatever. I can show you a kid that was raised in a hunting camp. They're just different.
Yeah.
They act different. Yeah. They're a little more mature. They've been around adults. They can kid, they can take it. And all that.
But they know how to act around adults.
And
that's what I think that's what we see too. And we go, but it's it's funny when you take kids to camp, and that's a place where, as adults, we used to cutting up. It's a fun time, and when the kids come, they're soaking up every bit of that, and they're learning so much. No matter what it is, whether it's cooking something, or it's just the stories we tell.
It's fun. It's great. It is a great place for kids, and it gets the kids a chance to see you interact with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
They get to see a different side of you. They don't see the dad at home.
Yeah.
They don't see the dad at work. They get to see the dad.
It's the whole social side of it. Yeah.
That's right. I remember experiences when my son used talking about kids and stuff like that, we would go to deer camp. Normally around the house, I wouldn't really mess around on the four-wheeler too much. But when we got down there, like you said, there ain't nothing that he can really hurt other than himself, and he's responsible enough. I'll pitch him the keys and just let him ride and do what he wanted.
Have a little freedom.
Have a little bit of freedom, and then he always, can we go back to camp?
Oh,
yeah.
Can we go back to camp?
They love it, man. We load up on snacks. We let them eat what they want. They can just really do whatever, and the kids love that.
But I think that's important to get them interested too. They see that as a fun time. It's not so much. Yeah, there's work to do at deer camp, but it's not that to them. They don't dread going.
No, they don't.
I have now as my son's gotten older, which he'll be a sophomore this year. Well, they get to that age to where they still want to hang out with their buddies and stuff. So it's a little tougher as they get a little older. When they were young, they loved it. But now I'm facing, I think, Mikey, you went through that with your son too.
Yeah.
It gets a point where dad's not cool. He's got all these buddies he's running with, and we're facing that struggle now. How do you still convince them to come and hang out without forcing them? Because you don't want to make them do it,
No, and that's true. And it was a little different for me too, because I had girls, and girls they're fun, up until about 10, 11 years old. Then they kind of drift away from you.
Yeah.
And then they'll come back at, 16, 17.
That's right.
That's what I've seen, 16 or 17. They kind of come back and they want to do stuff again. But again, I never forced it on them. Never. I was like, do you want to go to camp? No, I don't want to go. Okay, well, I'm going. Or do you want to go to camp? Yeah. And if you got that yes, well, you just made it. It's spectacular. I'm telling you, just snacks and stuff like that. And it's fun too, because you talk about eating. I got 3 girls, and they have about 3 things they'll eat in their diet. We're going to eat chicken nuggets. We'll eat a hot dog, or we'll eat, rice, chicken, cheese, and rice.
Yeah, chicken, cheese, and rice. That's right.
That's what they eat. That's all they live on. But we'd go to camp. Well, I'd see them over there eating something. Oh, she's eating a cheeseburger, or she's eating some venison, or she's eating duck poppers. She ain't going to do that
at home. Yeah. So let's going back to the duck recipes. Now, I know since you're a big duck hunter, what's your favorite way to eat duck?
Kind of like everybody else, duck poppers are kind of a staple every day. You're going to eat those every day and all that. I'm not a huge cook. I know my audience here. Shame to say I'm not a huge cook, but I do like them if just a straight duck breast, if it is seasoned up, well, however you want to season it, garlic, whatnot. I like it over an open flame, turned just a couple times, pulled off, and pretty rare.
There you go.
Slice it up pretty thin. I like that.
That's how when me and Mikey started cooking them like that, and we quit wrapping them in bacon and overcooking them. Basically, we learned to cook duck to a right temperature, which is medium rare.
Mm-hmm.
That's if you go over that with duck, and I see why people don't like it. But when you have some duck that's cooked perfect like that, man, it's some of the finest meat you can eat. It really is. And it's simple. Like you said, you don't need nothing but a fire and some easy seasonings.
That's right. And just turn it and take it off and slice it up. I mean, we just kind of eat it like that, just like finger food and whatever else you have to go with it, like that. I'm also a kid from the South. You fry it up, you bet.
Yeah. Fry it up, put it with a gravy.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat, man.
Oh, man.
Hard to beat.
I mean,
I don't, it's funny when you start talking about duck recipes. You get some people that absolutely love them, but the majority of folks is, we don't eat that. We don't eat duck. Why are you eating that? It's nasty. It's minerally. It tastes like liver. Why would you eat it? And I think it's because there's a big misunderstanding on how to cook it.
Oh, I'm 100% sure that it's just been horribly cooked forever. Because you think of a duck and you think of medium rare. When you think of a chicken, I'm not eating that.
Yeah, that's right.
You're going to overcook it, and it's going to be tough, and it's going to be. Ugh.
I didn't think about that, but you're probably right. People are comparing it to other poultry that has to be cooked to over a 165, you know?
Could you imagine serving somebody bloody chicken?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
When they see a bloody duck. Oh.
Yeah, that's the way I always cooked it when I first started duck hunting and was wanting to cook. You know, if Daddy always had us, if you killed it, you eat it.
Mm-hmm.
So when we went duck hunting, we would kill, a few ducks or whatever, and I would cook them on the grill. But I had that mentality about same thing with everybody else probably did with the chicken and the turkey, and I'm gonna cook this thing to death, where I ain't making nobody sick.
Mm-hmm. It's not coming back alive.
No, it was like eating a tire plug, a liver flavored tire plug.
So if you can only pick one, are you duck hunting in the woods or are you spring turkey hunting gobblers?
Oh my gosh, man, I hate this question. I guess if I could, I really hate it. We were talking about it one day, turkey hunting, and I was like, all right, we're going to have to put more parameters around this. If we're in the woods and the water's perfect and we're like in groups of 100 or more, I'm probably going to duck hunt the rest of my life. If I'm not having great hunts, it is hard to beat a gobbling turkey. It is.
It sure is.
And I've always kind of get ashamed to say, but I only have a few states left that I haven't killed a turkey in. And the other thing about turkey hunting growing up, we didn't have them where I grew up. I didn't see a turkey till I went to college. So I was self-taught turkey hunting, and I truly love it. I absolutely love it. If you put me on the spot, and I don't know, I wouldn't answer it. Springtime of the year, I'll tell you, I would never do any turkey hunt. Man, I love it.
There's something about it. I know I've been on those duck hunts where, well, in Mississippi, we have a lot of them, where you're just sitting there and there ain't a bird, or you might see some ducks, but they ain't even looking at you. But many a days where we just been skunked, not even fired a shot. And those days make duck hunting to me, it's like, man, is it even worth it anymore? You just get discouraged. And when you go turkey hunting, that old gobbler can give me the slip 3 weeks in a row, and I'm still got to go back and get him, got to go back and get him, got to go back and get him. There's just something about that. And I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what it is, but it's like a mind game you have with them. I don't feel like I have that same mind game with those ducks. I just feel like if they're coming, they're coming.
Yeah, if they're here.
Yeah, if it's good, yeah.
And you get that call that says, "Hey, I've got a bunch of ducks. They're here. You got to come now."
You drop it and go. Yeah,
you have to go. Turkey hunting, it's like
nobody's gonna give you that call.
No,
no,
you're not getting that.
Tell you that they're here, or I heard one gobbling over here. And it's one of those days you can go out and you can not hear anything. You don't understand why you didn't hear anything. You go out the next day, you hear 5. And I tell my wife, Jessie, all the time, she's like, "What are you going to do tomorrow?" I go, "I guess I'm going to go on a long walk with a shotgun." That's it. In the springtime.
That's it. So how do you juggle duck hunting in the fall, winter, turkey hunting all spring with the wife life? Because I need some secrets on this, man.
I will tell you, I'm really fortunate. Jessie has never said a word, but I'll make it even worse for you. When I was all my career, we built everything at Drake. We built everything overseas. So I was spending 180, almost 200 days a year in China, Vietnam, any other country in the world.
Across the world.
All over the world.
Yeah.
I always tell this story. It's funny. We got married. We went on, me and my wife, Jessie's from Maryland. So I met her at a waterfowl show. I was up there at a show, and we met. We long distance dated for a couple of years and convinced her to move to Mississippi. And we got married. We went on a honeymoon, moved her into the house. 3 days later, I went to Asia for 3 weeks.
Oh.
We had our first baby, and 3 days later, I went to Asia for 2 weeks. We had the second one, the third one. Every time we had a kid, I had to go.
Yeah.
So I could be here for the birth, but I not had to be gone. So I would travel all the time. I was always gone traveling. And then when I came home, I just wanted to go hunt, which looking back on it, wasn't very nice to her. I just stayed gone all the time.
So you got lucky there with that. You got lucky with that one.
So I don't know if I get to go and do because I trained her well from the beginning.
Yeah.
Or how it worked out. But she's always been supportive and just she can a lot of time. And it was funny too, when COVID started and travel stopped, like it just stopped. I quit going. All of a sudden my kids are looking at me like, "Who's this guy? And why is he here all the time?" So that was a big change for our family too, to understand why Dad was home, not gone all the time. But she's great. I'm probably in her way more than
Yeah. So do you still burn the road up, or?
No, I don't. I don't travel as much. I'll stay gone. I'll go overseas a couple times, 2 or 3 times a year. I'm fortunate I've been able to build out our staff. We've got 5 people working in products, so they're going a lot more than I am. I'm staying here trying to get things going in new different directions while we're doing. And then, but I do still hunt. So I hunt quite a bit. If the girls go, we'll stay over. If they don't go, or if it's not great, I'll just go over for the day and come back and stuff. But I still hunt a lot. So.
Well, that kind of, I wanted to talk a little bit about what Chene does for conservation, working with DU and all the programs that y'all have, the film festival. Man, if you wouldn't mind touching on that side of the business, because I mean, it's great that you've got a company that makes a great product that's different from everybody else and has all these fans because of that. But I think a big part of what y'all do, and people may not even realize, is giving back and making this the hunting industry better and conservation and all that. So,
So that was one of the big things. We always wanted to give back, wanted to do stuff for waterfowlers. And, DU catches a lot of flack. Delta catches a lot of flack. Short stopping ducks, building places up north, whatever. Whether you like them or not, I like them. Whether, if they do one little thing that helps, that's something that somebody else isn't doing. So I'm a big DU supporter. We're a big DU supporter at Chene. We work with them on their banquet programs. We give them the ability to have waiters so that they can sell them and raise money. We do that. And then we work with them on the conservation side of it too, of helping promote, get the word out on their ability to flood lands and do stuff like that. And one of the biggest ways we do it is they're the benefactor of our film festival. So every year we hold a film festival in the October timeframe of the year. It's October 21st this year, I think. Well, I hope I didn't get that wrong. But it's in October this year. And we have it at the Botanical Gardens, and it is a great event. I mean, it's a great event. And the way it works is, if you want to do a corporate sponsorship, or if you want to buy a table, you can buy an 8-person table. You can set up really close to the stage. There's meals, there's drinks, there's table gifts, there's waiters. Like it's everything that you want. Or you can just buy a single ticket and come in and sit at the event. We have food trucks, or we'll have a caterer come in and serve everybody. And then generally what we've done in the past couple of years, Jordan Davis and his brother Jacob have come in and sang songs for everybody. They'll do 4 or 5. They generally go more. So I think last year they sang 9 songs. Yeah. They stayed up there for a couple hours. They'll put on a little mini concert performance, and then we get to watch films. And what we do, we get different filmmakers that are kind of in the waterfowl space that will make a 10 to 14 minute long film. We've done it on Reelfoot. We've done stories on dogs. We've done stories on a kid that got injured young that still hunts. We've done stories on locations, and we've done stories about conservation. They are great films. No one's ever left there saying, man, those films were horrible. There's tear jerkers, and there's ones that make you smile and laugh. And if you are a waterfowl person or an outdoorsman in general, you'll get it from those films. You absolutely love them. There's raffles that go on there. We do some auctions for some cool, unique stuff. But all the proceeds, every bit of the proceeds from that event goes to Ducks Unlimited.
Wow.
We write them a whopper check on Friday at for DUX. We're going to give them a $100,000 check.
Holy smokes. That's amazing. Yeah. Yep. It's going to go a long way towards conservation there.
It will. And we do that. That's on top of the other programs that we do with DU. It's on top of the other stuff that we do with Delta. So, we're a waterfowl company. We want to see waterfowl. So we're going to support the groups that are supporting waterfowl.
Where did the film festival idea come from? Whose brainchild was that?
it was I wanted to have an event to be able to give back to the waterfowl community. I thought that was just really cool. And I thought being able to show films would be great. And then from there, the team just took it and they made it into what it is. I mean, they made it into this grand event. A lot of great people worked on it. So, not anything I could have done like that, but.
Well, I'm going to make it a point to be there this year. I hate I missed it last year.
Yeah.
How many years have y'all done it?
This will be the third year.
Okay, so it's third year.
2 years. It really is. If I wasn't involved with Chene, if I didn't have anything to do with it, it's something I would go to. It's really cool. It's a great night.
Well, you mentioned the presentation of the check you're going to be doing at the DUX thing. Now, tell the little people about what the DUX Expo is this weekend.
So the DUX Expo convention it's going to be at the Renaissance Convention Center, and it's a vendor event. So it kind of goes back to the old days of when DU had those convention when they would bring everybody to Memphis or went to Oshkosh, Wisconsin. They kind of moved around. They went to Dallas. It's not a typical DU event where there's a dinner and a raffle and an auction.
Mm-hmm.
It's a full-on convention. So you'll see every brand in waterfowl, boats, guns, decoys, trucks, clothing, waders, all of that. It's at the Renaissance Convention Center. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it will be a huge.
Yeah, I know I looked at kind of what's going on, the itinerary. There's seminars, lectures all day long, anything from dogs to habitat management. You name it, they're going to have people talking about it. There's a duck calling contest. I think there is a banquet one evening.
I'm sure they're probably.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on with it. And so that's at Memphis, Tennessee this weekend, August 1st through the 3rd. I think it runs about noon to 6 every day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something like that. So if anybody listening wants to come out and check it out, y'all come to Memphis and I'm sure y'all will have a big presence there. There's going to be, but like you said, every manufacturer will be there. You can see all the latest, greatest products, innovative stuff coming out in the duck hunting world. And I'm excited. I'm going to be there too. So I'm excited about that. But is there anything else on the radar, Jeff, that you would like to tell folks about, or any events you got coming up? Or
No, just, DUX's next event's coming up. We'll have, there's a couple other little smaller conventions around there coming into the season. We'll have our anniversary of our 1 year of the Stuttgart store. We'll have that open.
I wouldn't even talk about that, man. You tell us a little bit of what y'all did there. I know you mentioned it earlier. Me and Mikey actually drove by it going over to Arkansas to hunt last year. Tell people if they don't know what the flagship store is.
So we did. We built a flagship store in Stuttgart, right there on 65. It's 18,000 square feet. It's a massive store. But more than just being a retail store where you can go in and buy waders or jackets or anything like that, it's really kind of a waterfowler's hangout. It has a large lodge feel to it, giant fireplace that's in there, bunch of couches, and we have food over there every day. We have drinks and all that. So it's a place where you can go hunt in the morning, come hang out, spend the day there, and then, if you want to shop, you can shop. There's, it's right there by Max. It's right by, Rich and Tone, and then our place is there also.
And the duck hunting capital of the world.
Duck hunting capital of the world. It's something we're really proud of. And it's our chance which we have a store in our corporate office in Memphis. We're very proud of it. But the store in Stuttgart, it's big and it's impressive, and you can come in, you can see and touch and feel and try on anything and everything.
And I'm sure they'll help you find the waders that are perfect fit for you and everything.
Take care of it. Yep.
Good deal. Well, man, Mikey, do you have anything else?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. Jeff, we just wanted to say thank you, brother. Thank you for taking time out of your busy. I know you got this big event coming up and you stay 100 every day, but we appreciate you coming by and spending some time with us and telling folks your story, man. It was incredible. We're just amazed at what you've done and glad to know you and get to know you a little bit better, man. So that's awesome. If somebody wants to buy a pair of waders, tell them where to go.
Chenegear.com.
Chenegear.com. Y'all heard it here. Well, all right, man. Well, hey, we'll be back next week to talk more outdoors. And we appreciate y'all tuning in here at the Buck Junkie Podcast. We gone.